Hi students, welcome to this last video module. In this video module, you will understand competency-based training, components and standards. So in this model, you will learn various aspects of the competency-based training in terms of the components and standards that we fix for the training as well as the expected the competencies on the job. So this is we are going to learn from this video model. When you look at the components of the competency based training, CBT, you have the four major the segments here. The first one is the competency standards. We fix the standards when we just look at the competency based training. So the standard is the skills, knowledge, and attitude required to do a job. So that we fix for each and every job. So whenever we are organizing any training program, we just look at the fixed standard for each job in terms of required skills, knowledge, and attitude. And over and above, wherever there is the gap, to fill that gap, the competency-based training program will be conducted. And the second component is assessment. So the process to judge if the people have the required the skills, knowledge, and then attitude. So we just look at individual the skills, and we'll find out the available existing level of the skills of the employees, attitude or knowledge, whatever it is. And then so you can see the third one, the learning the strategies and then learning the material. So how do we help the people to get the skills and then the knowledge? So depends on the requirement. So we'll just come out with the suitable strategy and then the material. So that is going to help the individual to acquire the skills that are required and to fill the gap between the expected and then available. And then qualification framework also. The system for recognition of the competencies based on the qualification. So qualification also is a fundamental, so that reflects the competencies of the individual. For example, if you are going to have the qualification of MBA tourism, so it is expected that you will have no, the competencies in tourism subject, right? So then based on that, whenever you are attending any kind of training program, so assessment is done to look at how much you have and then what is required, and to fill that gap, there is a the training program, and then so we fix the standards, and to that extent, so the training program is conducted to acquire and then impart the training programs to the individual employees, right? So if you see the competency standards, that's the most important dimension here. An industry determines the specific of the performance, which is set out the skills, knowledge, and attitude required to operate effectively in the employment. So the competency standards are made up of elements of the competency together with the performance criteria, a range of variables, and then evidences, the guide. So you can see that no, the competency standards are fixed for each and every job. If you see the tour operator companies, so the tour manager or even counter sales executive or even the marketing manager, no. So you'll see that for each and every job, so there are some kind of competency standards. So the standards are fixed, and then accordingly, so the you supposed to work for the organization as per the standards. So then the type of the standards like industry standards, enterprise level standards, and cross industry the standards. So industry standards like hotels and restaurants the standards, garment standards, and automotive the standards. Like for each industry wise, you'll find the standards are there. If it is a hotel and restaurant or even tourism, so certain standards are there. Enterprise level, the company level standards like Mandarin hotels and then Hyatt hotels and Toyota or even Fiat. So you will find enterprise level they have their own specific standards. So the cross-industry standards like unit competency and assessment and then training. So you can see the functional wise also, the different the standards are fixed for the functions. So then a competent the worker like you can see the competence of the individual in a two levels like a task skills, task management skills, so the contingency management skills, environmental skills, and then transport skills. That is the one level. So the second level is the skills, knowledge, and attitude. So when you just look at all these in the center, you can see the competency of the individual, competent of the worker. So all these reflects on the job. Right. If you see further, the five aspects and dimensions of the competence like a task skills, the task management and contingency management skills and environmental skills and then transfer skills. Like a task skills like able to perform individual tasks and task management is the skills able to manage a number of different tasks within the job and contingency management skills like able to respond irregularities and then breakdowns in routine and environmental skills like ability to work with responsibility and then expectations of the work environment and transfer skills like ability to transfer the competencies into any given the situations, the new situation or new workplace, wherever it is, how best you can transfer your skills in the given environment. That is another important dimension. So if you see further the commonly accepted the types of the competencies like a practical competencies, can the person do what is required and fundamental the competence like does the person understand and they are doing and why they are doing it and reflect to the competence like can the person adapt what they do what different set of circumstances based on their understanding of what they do and applied the competences like can we see from the person's behavior that they know what to do, understand what they are doing, and then can apply this combination of knowledge and then understanding their work. So these are the present no, environment required competencies like practical competencies, fundamental competencies, reflective competencies, and applied competencies, and these are the main important dimensions. So if you just look at the other important aspect like macro view of the competency, the management like a strategic, the framework, the competency framework and competency model framework. So in all these respects, you can see the organizational, the strategy, then business strategy, or even teamwork strategy, and the role strategy at the different level, and then core competencies of the requirement, and then business competencies, and then the team competencies, and the role competencies. So when we have the strategy, then when we have the competency framework, then we have to see that how it is there in terms of requirement, and then in terms of availability, in terms of use of those competencies on the organizations for overall the performance improvement and then success of the organization. So this the diagram will give you the complete picture about what is it and how it is going to happen in the organizational context, right? So with that, no, let me just look at the last no, the slide that the trends in the talent management. The trends are like no, the closure integration of the talent management with the business strategy making. So the talent management and then business strategy is now closely aligned to each other, and increasing the level of engagement of senior leaders in the global and then functional talent reviews and the senior people are now involving and looking at the review of the talent that is available in the organizations. The more robust potential assessment and using the consistent the processes such as the nine box grid, you can see that there are no assessments very clearly, then identifying them in putting them in the different boxes and then analyzing each and every individual and understanding the what is the total no competency available in the organization. So that is the top people involvement and then assessment of the competency. So it is interested in the broader range of the talent groups and then for example technical specialities need to understand the talent management challenges in high growth emerging markets. And at the same time, you can see that the shift towards more employee centric approach to the talent management. So it is all about the people and then how they are going to work with the organization. That is the most important dimension. So with that, let me just stop here and looking forward to meet you in the session 19, video 91. Thank you.